Hi guys, welcome to our live, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Thank you all so much for joining us. As you can see on our screen, this is our virtual book launch, our first ever, so thank you. In the comments below, please tell us what state you're logging in from. We would love to see where everybody's from. Fayetteville, Georgia, awesome.
All right, representing from Fayetteville. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we'll let a few more people type in where you are logging in from. Either you're on YouTube or Facebook. Welcome, we greatly appreciate you.
All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So as I said, this is our virtual book launch. Everybody that's here right now, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. Bijane.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Bijane Kareem. I am the author of 12 Quick Steps to Winning Classroom Grants, which we'll talk about today, as well as the CEO of BK International Education Consultancy. And I have my esteemed co-host here, Pamela. Pamela, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pamela. I'm going to be the co-host over here, and my role with BKIEC is that I am the social media intern. So if you guys have any chance to message us on all of our social media or give us a follow, please feel free to do so.
So a little bit more about BK International Education Consultancy. So our mission is to support educational communities by strengthening educator practices to best serve students. And we do that in three ways, right? So one is continuing education and training, what we call teacher training or professional learning, program and curriculum design, as well as project management. And we typically support K through 12 school districts, youth and parent organizations, as well as government and nonprofit agencies. So we're excited to have you here today because this has been a passion project of ours, our first published book specifically targeted for educators. We are beyond excited. And so we're going to share a little bit more about my background and then get into the book because that's what we're here for, right? So about myself, I'm the executive director of BK International Education Consultancy. We're the education and grant specialist. And a little bit about myself. So I have a background in biology and chemistry. So in STEM career fields, transitioned into education and have married my two loves of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, as well as education in launching BK International Education Consultancy. Also to the right, you'll see some of the certifications that I have, as well as my passions for designing professional learning experiences, both for youth as well as adult learners. And traveling abroad, but unfortunately we can't do that right now because of the pandemic, but I can't wait to be able to get back out there to be able to continue to build my cultural competency.
Thank you so much. So next, we would love to play a little trivia game with you guys. So we're going to go ahead and start. So for the first question, if you know our author personally, please give an answer to what city and state did the author teach in. And please write your comments in the comments below so we can see we are keeping score. So keep in mind that there is a prize of a free book at the end of this live. Atlanta, good answer.
All right, we have a correct answer. That is correct. I taught in Atlanta, Georgia. Great job. All right, next question.
Next question. What % of U.S. public school teachers spend personal funds on instructional materials?
Ooh, this is a good one.
A little bit of a hard one. But give it your best guess, best shot.
And as educators, we feel this. We feel this question so much. I think we all can identify.
94%. It's a good guess. All right, so let's see what the answer is here. 94%. You got it right.
All right, spot on. That's amazing. 94%. I think that is mind-blowing that 94% of U.S. public school teachers spend out of their own pockets to help support instruction. And since the pandemic, this number has increased. So it's well over 94%. And on average, a recent study by Adopt a Classroom indicated that teachers spend anywhere from maybe $700 annually on their own classroom. I think that's amazing.
A lot of money.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. But we're going to fix that. We have a way to fix that.
We do. All right, question 3. How much grant money was awarded in 2019? Keep this number in mind because you could be next. You never know. Get that grant ready, and we are here right for you. So I think there was a lot of grant money that was awarded in 2019, right?
Oh, yeah. And we're going to talk about ways to tap into that. And as a clarifier, this is grant monies awarded in the U.S., in the United States, in 2019.
There's a ton of grant stuff out on the internet. Also, guys, remember, if you go on our social media, every Friday is Funding Friday for us. So we provide free resources for you guys, just free resources for you to visit other grants pages that you can apply for free. And we also give you guys a heads up when deadlines come up. So we make sure you don't miss out. Okay, so let's see here. 400 billion and plus.
400 billion, Pam. Did you say 400 billion?
Yep, with a B.
With a B, right? So there's no reason why those 94% plus of educators, U.S. educators, should have to spend out of their own pockets for instructional materials or PPE or whatever it is, because there's 400+ billion out there in grant money that can be tapped into.
It's just waiting for us. It
just
really
waiting.
is.
That's right. That's right.
All right, question 4. When looking at a grant proposal and a lesson plan, what does a lesson plan use opposed to a grant proposal?
Ooh, good question. And this is something that's covered in the book.
Something that I think you cover very well.
Thank you. So what won't you find in a grant proposal or a lesson plan? I'm sorry, what won't you find in a grant proposal? What will you find in a grant proposal that you won't find in a lesson plan? Did I say that right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. What will be in a lesson plan that is not in a grant proposal?
That is a great answer.
Oh, we have some scholars out there. Yes, yes.
You are correct. Differentiation is the right answer.
Right, differentiation. And so we'll talk a little bit in a second about those other categories and how grant proposals and lesson plans are very similar. So as an educator, if you're wondering, oh, it's something else. I am tired of spending my own money in my classroom, right? But I have to learn a new skill. This book breaks it down for you where you're using the skills that you already have as an educator and creating lesson plans to be able to write grants and tap into that $400+ million that's just sitting out there waiting for you.
It is just waiting for you. So don't forget about it. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for participating in our little trivia game. So next, Bijane would love to introduce her book a little more and what comes along with it.
Thank you, Pam. So as you see here, you see 2 book covers. So you see one, a darker color, that's the paperback version, and then you see a lighter green color, and that's for the hard book and the ebook. Currently, the paperback and the ebook are both available already on Amazon. Everybody loves Amazon. I know I love Amazon in partnership with Amazon. And so I will also share with you how you can get a free copy of the ebook in partnership with Amazon. So this is amazing, right? Because teachers already come out their pocket for instructional materials. So we want to make it easy for them to get a copy of this book in their hands, have access to it, so they can start tapping into those grant funds. So I think I already shared with you all a little bit of the inspiration for the book. As you all know, that I taught in Atlanta for many years as an elementary classroom teacher, and was one of the 94% who came out of my pocket willingly to help support instructional materials and to get supplies and things of that nature. And so there came a point I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. And I started looking into grant writing. And as I looked into grant writing, I realized, wait a minute, okay, this seems similar to the lesson plans that I have to write. And as I continue to look at the grant applications that were out there for classroom teachers, it's like they're asking the same type of questions. Okay. So I was like, all right, I can do this. I can definitely do this. And so that was the inspiration for the book. And so since I've transitioned from being a classroom teacher and launched BK International Education Consultancy, I've been saying for many years, I need to write this book. I need to write this book and support other educators in building their capacity, using the talents that they already have to be able to alleviate their financial strain and acquire those instructional materials, supplies, equipment, devices nowadays, whatever they need to help help support instruction and student learning. And so finally, in 2020, I would say my quarantine creativity has led to the release of what you see here, 12 quick steps to writing winning grants. And what also happened in 2020, in addition to the COVID pandemic, it provided me the opportunity to host some webinars where I could field test this book with educators to see if the chapters make sense, if the content makes sense. And we got great feedback. So we had educators look at it, administrators, a variety of teachers, whether they were special ed or regular or gen ed, individuals who worked at state departments of education to read the book at the university level, and got great feedback and pretty much the go ahead. So we're happy to be able to have produced this product to help support educators and leverage their natural ability to write lesson plans to be able to write grants. So we teach you the art and the science behind grant writing in this book. And it's not that many pages. It is, I would say, 64 pages total. And the great thing about 12 Quick Steps to Writing Winning Grants is if you, like me, and you want a paper copy, it's in a workbook style. It's in a workbook format. So you can write, you can highlight if you'd like, you can write in your notes. There are template sections for you to think through certain prompts and questions, and you can write those out, write directly in your book here. I give you examples of winning classroom grants embedded throughout. This is a great resource, and it also has some color graphics in here for you as well to support those visual learners such as myself. So it's a great book, and I can't wait to be able to show you all how to get access to it. And so there's someone in the chat box asking, where can they get a copy? Oh my goodness, great question. This is where you can go. You can go to, in partnership with Amazon, you can go to tiny.cc/teacher tools and get your own copy. And we'll also put this across the top just as a reminder. So you can go to tiny.cc/capital T for teacher, capital T for tools, all one word, and get your copy. Thank you, Pam. And as you see here on the screen, there are two versions. You have the paperback, which is only $19.99, right? If you're like me, you need a physical copy, you need to write down, write in it. That's there for you, very low cost. And in partnership with Amazon, you can get a free Kindle version. So for those e-readers out there, if you want to go ahead and get started now, you can download a Kindle version if you have Kindle Unlimited for free. So again, we're all about teachers supporting teachers. So we just gave you access to a free copy right there. So we really want you to make sure you make use of that. We know teachers are instructing in virtual, hybrid, and online environments. And so regardless of what learning space that you're having to instruct in, supplies, materials, and things will always be needed, right? Whether you're doing creative project-based learning, STEM projects, if you need build up your classroom library, if you need PPE, whatever it is you need hand sanitizer, Lysol, you can write classroom grants. There are classroom grants for that. So let me give you a little sneak peek of one of the visuals that's inside of the book that I think is most important that I want you to walk away with. We talked about this a little earlier in the trivia question that Pam read out. Pam, would you mind going to the graphic on the Venn diagram? So here, we talked earlier about how if you saw a grant application, what would not be in there that you would see in a lesson plan. And so here we know a Venn diagram is used to compare two things, right? Two concepts, two things. And on the left in blue, you'll see lesson plan. And on the right in green, you'll see grant application. And so if you notice in the middle where they overlap, there's a lot of overlap. So just like in a lesson plan, in a grant application, it should start with the need. What are the needs of your students? What is the need of your target group that you want to create this project or acquire funds for, right? Same thing for a lesson plan. The lesson plan should start off with the needs of your students. What do they need to learn that they may not already know? All right. And then the next thing are goals and objectives. Just like in a lesson plan, you set goals and objectives for that lesson or that curriculum unit. Same thing for a grant application. So now that you know what the needs are, what are your goals and objectives to be able to get your students to be able to solve and reduce whatever that need is. And then you go on to building out your activities, right? What are instructional things that are going to help get them there? What is the timeline? How long will this lesson plan run, as well as how long will the grant application project take? And then evaluation. How are you going to evaluate to ensure that those goals and objectives were achieved and that the needs have been resolved? How do you measure that? How do you go about evaluating and assessing that? And then both the grant application and a lesson plan, they both include materials, right? So it may be usually most of the time teacher materials. So what materials are needed in order to execute, to implement the lesson plan? And now that we're online, it could be what educational technology do you need, right? Are you a Google-based school where you're using, Google Meets or Google Classrooms or Flipgrid or a Kahoot, things of that nature? Same thing for a grant application. You're going to list out what materials that you need. Now, the two things that are different from a lesson plan and a grant application we talked about earlier is usually in a lesson plan and a high quality lesson plan, there should be some level of differentiation that's included. So if you have learners and they are to learn this particular standard, but they have different learning styles and different needs, learning needs, how do you differentiate that lesson or that curriculum unit to be able to address them, to be able to get them to mastery? That is typically not included in a classroom grant application, but based on those materials that you have listed, they do require a budget. And so 12 Quick Steps breaks all that down. Like, how do you come up with the budget? What are some examples of budgets? And then how to also craft your budget narrative. So that's one thing I want to highlight. Again, if you're an educator and you're tired of spending your personal funds in your classroom, or your school has budget cuts because of the economy and things of that nature, then the things that maybe that you were able to get before, you're no longer able to get, you can tap into grant money for that. Or if you were able to, if you're at a school that is able to supply what you need, sometimes you're not able to get the amount that you need, right? Or you may have to request it at a certain time. So all those things can be eliminated if you take your power of writing lesson plans and apply it to writing grants for your classroom. I do want to read a little section of the book before we move on. And I want to read out the introduction as well as acknowledgements and dedications, because I think it's so important that we give credit where credit is due. I know I had a very, very, very strong and supportive village to help during my quarantine creativity with all that was going on in 2020, to keep me motivated and to push forward with it. And so the acknowledgements are, I would like to acknowledge Magalia Owosika for reminding and challenging me to complete this book. I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Kathleen Champlin, Dr. Adrienne Simmons, Dr. Vera Stenhouse, Katisha Kennebrew, Chandra Perry, Charmaine Perry Knights for your feedback, comments, and edits. I also thank Lexi Smith, Miguel Galindo, Catherine Ahn, Pamela Jennimer, thanks Pam, Caitlin Shee, and Tommy Clay for your contributions to this project. And thank you for being my accountability partners. This book would not be as concise without your support and thought partnership. So those are the acknowledgements that I wanted to highlight. And in terms of the dedication, this book is dedicated, I had to dedicate it to my parents, Constance and Latif Kareem, for even planting the seed of authorship. Many times they said, you need to write a book. You're so knowledgeable. You're always sharing with other people tips and tricks. Why not write a book? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. And years went by, and I finally decided in 2020 to go ahead and make that happen. So I want to thank them for modeling, guiding, and inspiring me to put my thoughts into writing and to share them with others, because knowledge is definitely power. And I also dedicate this book to my great grandmother. She's no longer with us, but her name was Catherine E. Reed, and she was a former educator who I admired for her resourcefulness and tenacity in finding solutions in everyday issues. And that's exactly the spirit that I wanted to hone in this book, is to find a solution to everyday issues. So the solution for educators who are spending out their pocket is to be able to leverage their grant writing skills, their lesson planning skills to write grants. And this book is also dedicated to fellow teachers. Many teachers may not be aware that they have the foundational skills to win grants. And as a former elementary school teacher, I designed this book to leverage your expertise in lesson plan development. So this book is to you. I hope you find this book a quick and easy read, because I know teachers have very little time. But I hope this quick and easy read will add a valuable skill to your toolbox and share a way to save your coins. So this book is dedicated to you. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate, again, like I said, everybody who poured into me, and I want to pour into others and continue to help support educators.
Thank you. That was so lovely.
Thanks, Pam.
Next, we would love to discuss how you can purchase a copy or even gift this book to another teacher that you know who might need it. In the comments below, if you have any more questions or just want to talk to us, please feel free to do so. We are here to answer any and all questions and comments as well. But we would just love to go ahead and just give you a quick little rundown on how to purchase it on Amazon, what's the quickest way, and what is the best way for you. So as Bijane covered a little bit earlier, we have the option to get the book in a Kindle form. So if you have a Kindle, if you're a Kindle reader, this is available for you for free. And it's also available in paperback, and you have a little quick look inside here as well, on a couple pages, what you're really getting. So here's some of the contents, and yeah. So that's available on Amazon. Don't forget, guys, we also have this link on our social medias as well, so it will not be lost.
And Pam, and someone has too. Look, you see that, Pam, in the comment? All right, thank you. And that's such a great point that you made, Pam, that even if you have a copy for yourself, giving books are great gifts, right? Teachers love getting gifts, right? So why not give the gift of learning to an educator who are lifelong learners? And could you go back to the look inside? I do want to make a point. I noticed in the look inside, I try to make it super easy to follow the book at the table of contents. The table of contents are even broken out into mostly parts of a lesson plan. So chapter 1 is just grants 101, like the basics. And then you get into diagnostic assessment, and we connect how that is related to a grant application. And then we go into differentiation. And then what most people want to know, right, is, okay, where do I even go to find funding? We even break that and unpack that, give you some websites on where you can go to find grants, and then lesson plan objectives and how that's connected to grants. We go into summative assessment, lesson activities, lesson materials, and then your lesson draft and submission. So all those things in our teacher speak, teacher life, teacher problems, right? But we show how it's connected to grant writing. So we're glad. Thank you for having 2 copies already. And actually, since you were the winner of our trivia, we're going to gift you another copy. So feel free to give it to someone else. If you like another educator, feel free to pay it forward. But we thank you for your time, for being here today, as well as being a supporter, right? So yeah, so if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free today, as well as, or you can get the paperback copy so that you can write in it and take notes and jot out your ideas. You can quickly go on Amazon.com and you can get there 2 ways. You can type in 12 quick steps. And if you hit enter, it should be like the second one that comes up, and you'll see either that usually you'll probably see the bright green cover that will come up first. And that's the ebook. And we're excited to say by the end of this month, there will be a hardback version that will be coming out as well. And so that'll be the same color as the ebook. So the hardback version will also be coming out for those who want to maybe purchase a copy for their school libraries. And this is a great resource for Teacher Appreciation Week, for principals and school administrators to be able to share with their teachers as well, and invest back in them, because they invest so much in students and in the school community.
And that's so big on their part. You know, they just want to educate the future, and we are here as a little guiding step to make that process a little easier for them. So don't forget your teachers. BK is right here for them if they need a little push.
That's right. We're here. We also provide trainings to schools on how to get those grants. So we are available for you. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Pam, we have a special starting on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the ebook for 99 cents. So even if you don't have Kindle Unlimited, you can still get a copy of the ebook for 99 cents.
That's it.
That's better than Dollar Tree, right? Like, who you can't beat that deal. You can't beat that deal. So that's on Monday. On Monday, you can get a copy of the ebook for 99 cents. So make sure that you share with somebody. They can get access to this who may not be here today.
Exactly. Awesome. So next, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We would love to just talk about, Bijane wants to talk about some of the upcoming events that we have, some goals and objectives for the next year. So go ahead.
Thank you so much, Pam. So as you can see here, we have January is hot, okay? January is on fire. This is not just the 16th day. It feels like the 46th day already of the year, right? We've been busy. Pam and I have been working to put on some great programs for everyone. And so one we have is STEAM for school leaders. And so not only are we into supporting educators and school communities around being able to acquire funding for their needs, we also have this focus a focus pretty much. Focus and a love for STEM education and STEAM education. So STEAM standing for science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And so we have a STEAM for school leaders micro PLC, micro professional learning community that launches next Saturday, and it starts at 9 a.m. Eastern. And so what this will do, this will focus on those school administrators who are wanting to do things different at the school and integrate STEM and STEAM into their schools, but don't know where to start. They don't know where to start. And so we will walk you through how to create a comprehensive STEAM culture and school community. And so that starts next Saturday. So this was this Saturday. The book launch was this Saturday, and we're following up next Saturday with the STEAM for School Leaders. And that will go for about 4 sessions on 4 different Saturdays. So that's coming up. And then to piggyback off of our book launch for 12 quick steps to writing winning grants, we will have a grant writing masterclass at the end of this month on the 26th, starting on the 26th. And for 3 weeks, I will coach you personally and unpack this entire book for you and show you how the basics of writing classroom grants. I will help get you started. And that's kind of what I call it. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I consider that a happy hour time. So come and join me, grab your favorite adult beverage, and we'll talk about the art and the science of grant writing. And so each week for 3 weeks, we'll spend about 2 hours. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 1 hour each for those 3 weeks, we'll get together on Zoom and we'll unpack grant writing. You can ask me any and all questions. So that's coming up at the end of this month. And then also later this month, we're going to have an exclusive private Facebook group for those who are interested in grant writing for teachers. So there are tons of other grant writing groups out there, Facebook groups out there, but there aren't any specifically for educators. There are grant writing books for small businesses and grant writing groups for nonprofits, but the classroom and the education community sector is a little bit different. So we're launching an exclusive Facebook group for educators who want to learn the science of grant writing. And there are so many benefits to it. So for only like $21 a month, there are so many freebies that you get. It's amazing. So we'll add in there classroom grant opportunities that are coming up for you. Also a place for you to ask questions that you may have. Share your wins. If you are writing a classroom grant, share your wins in there. I also do a live coaching session similar to this. And then share tips and tricks with you. So there's tons of other benefits, but those are just to name a few. So that's for only $21 a month. Our private exclusive Facebook group for those who are serious, they're tired of spending money in their classroom, and they want to tap into that $400+ billion out there to help see their students and their school community grow. All right, and so then later on in the spring, we'll also launch what we're calling the CEU Consortium. So BK International Education Consultancy is accredited to offer CEUs. Those are continuing education units, very similar to for those who are based in Georgia, professional learning units. So they help you to recertify, to renew your teaching certificate. But these CEUs are great for any industry. And so we are partnering with other training providers who also want to offer CEUs for their courses. So if you want to increase, your pricing, your offerings for your training courses, you can do that with CEUs. All right, and we will walk you through what do you need to get your courses CEU ready at a CEU standard to be able to do so. So that is also launching in spring. And then, of course, back to STEAM and STEM, we got to love that. Project SMART is for the summer. So Project SMART is a virtual learning lab for both elementary educators and students, where we have fun, we use educational technologies, and we reimagine our communities with the use of technology. So how can we use technologies to make our communities better? And so teachers and students learn that side by side. Students are provided with mini STEM kits. Teachers are provided with a STEAM coach and a curriculum to implement the STEAM project-based learning all online and in a matter of 8 days. Very simple, but it's so powerful because it's in the summer. It helps prevent summer learning loss for students, and it provides a low stakes environment for teachers to learn and get coaching on best practice for the classroom for the school year. So it's completely a win-win. So anybody, I'm sorry, Pam, what did you say?
It's a double win.
It's a double win, right? It's a double win. And so Pam will show you shortly how to stay connected connected with us on our social medias, as well as just how to get in touch, period. just in case you have any additional questions.
Exactly. Right. Okay, perfect. So,
how could I forget about this, Pam?
Exactly.
Go ahead and tell them the special that we have.
So on our page, we also provide you with a grant readiness checklist. So what you can do here is you grab it's free, so it's totally free. You go to our website, you get the grant readiness checklist, and it'll help determine whether a funding opportunity is a viable option for your class. So this is a great way to kind of see, if you're applying for a grant, if you're researching some grants, is this the right grant for you? I think that's the best way to start your search at.
Great point. Very great point. And so just for being here today, so we already shared with you how you can get a free copy using with Kindle Unlimited. We also talked about the special starting on Monday. We can get the ebook for just 99 cents, even if you don't have Kindle Unlimited. And now we're also sharing with you that just to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success, we have this free grant writing checklist that's available here at tinyurl.com /grant checklist 21. I also put that in the chat for you all so that you can access and make sure that you are ready to receive a grant. So if you were to write a grant and receive a grant, you want to make sure you're in the best position possible. And this grant checklist, it's not even 10 questions that you can ask yourself to make sure that you are ready to start writing for those grants and winning those classroom grants.
Exactly. You guys remember there's 4 billion plus out there just for educators. So let's take advantage of it. We might as well. It's out there just for us.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if there are any other questions, we will hang around. We had some great feedback and participation and the winner. So for winning the trivia questions, we have our participant. Feel free to DM me so I can get your contact information so that I can send you your free copy of the book. So we'll hang out for about 2 more minutes. Feel free to ask any questions that you have, and then we'll wrap up a little early. It's a beautiful Saturday, and so we want you all to be able to enjoy that. Yeah, it is gorgeous today, right?
It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and also we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So catch us over there, send us a message, comment on our stuff. We come out with so many amazing resources for you guys just for free on our social media. We want to share these things with you. We want our educators to feel like they can just go to our social media, find some inspiration, whether it is women in STEM, which we love those days. That's where we feature important women in STEM. We think it's great that, we have to bring attention to that. They really set the stone and pathway for the future generation. Funding Friday as well. That's free. That's a free resources for our followers. You can go to our story, go to our feed posts where you will find grant opportunities just for you. So don't forget, guys, please follow us, give our page a like, and we're right there if you have any questions for us.
I think we see one comment. Oh, great. Yeah, well, yeah, that was a comment. Thanks, and have the great rest of your weekend, too. Thank you all for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you all.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.